Welcome to all the BSc first year students for semester second. So paper is Bryophyte and Pteridophyte. We have started the first beat, that is Bryophyta. Last 2-3 classes we have seen that is some introductory parts of Bryophyta. Yesterday we have discussed regarding the life cycle of Mertensia. For your syllabus they have mentioned two examples in Bryophyta, that is Mertensia and Funaria, Mertensia and Funaria. First we are going to be discuss a life cycle of Mertensia. Yesterday we have seen that is classification of Mertensia, then occurrence, where it occurs, then structure of Mertensia and how the multiplication and reproduction take place in Mertensia. With figure today again I am going to be review the whatever the things yesterday we have discussed. So while studying the thallus structure of Mertensia or plant body of Mertensia, as we know there are, while discussing the occurrence or habitat, most of the Mertensia species of Mertensia prefers to grow in shady places, moist and shady places. So the luxurious growth of these plants or Mertensia generally take place in shady places, a moist area, moist rocks. So there are about throughout world 65 species have been recognized. In India, near about 11 species have been recognized in different localities, and in that the most common one is Mertensia palmata is the most common one is there. While studying the plant body or thallus structures, thallus structure of Mertensia or plant body of Mertensia is dichotomously branched, dorsiventrally differentiated. So this is the dichotomous branching. Dorsiventrally differentiated means upper surface and lower surface. Upper one is dorsal surface, lower one is ventral surface. So while studying the plant body of Mertensia, you have to be mentioned a dichotomous branching, dorsiventrally differentiated, small leaf-like flat structure where a centrally located prominent midrib and the lateral branches. So this is the midrib. On that midrib there is a presence of half moon-like structures. They are known as gymma. Along with diamond-shaped structures are also present, in which there is a presence of a small pore where there is exchange of gases take place. So these gymma cups are nothing but a asexual reproductive body which contains gymmae. So while explaining this, from that dichotomous branching, here there is a notch, growing point is there is a notch, growing points. From that growing points, in case of Mertensia, there are two important reproductive bodies are originated. One is male reproductive body, which is known as anthidiophore, near about 2 to 4 centimeter in length. The tip of this each reproductive body turns into a small disc-shaped structures, in which there is a presence of male reproductive body, that is anthedium. When you take the vertical section of these anthidiophores, so you will find there is a presence of, on upper surface of this, there is a small chambers. In that chambers there is a presence of a stalked bodies which is known as anthedium, in which there is a formation of anthrozoids. So this disc-shaped structure of anthidiophores contains a small chambers with a small opening which is known as ostiole. At the base of each chamber or at the base of each anthedial chambers there is a presence of multicellular stalk bodies known as anthedium. So each anthedium is made up from number of anthrozoids, small cube-like structures. In each cube-like structure there is a presence of anthrozoids, and these anthrozoids are flagellated structures and they are act as male gametes. In this way, these are the reproductive bodies. Again, this is on male thallus of Mertensia. Male thallus of Mertensia. Then another thallus of Mertensia on which there is a presence of similar structure, but at the tip of this structure there is a presence of finger-like structures. The finger-like structures. That finger-like structures are nothing but the finger-like structures containing a stalk bodies is known as archigoniophore. It is known as archigoniophore. From the both the sides on the lateral, both the sides of the archigoniophore, each archigoniophore, there is a presence of a funnel-shaped structures. The funnel-shaped structures, they are nothing but archegonium. They are nothing but archegonium. The archegoniums are nothing but a female reproductive body. Female reproductive. So, in reference books, they have given the detailed structure of archegonium. Archegonium, that is a venator, neck canal cells, venators and neck canal cells. In the venator, there is a presence of a single nucleus which is act as an egg. It is acts as an egg. So, what is the structure of venator? What is the structure of neck canal cells and the terminal cells, receptor cells? So, details regarding in the reference books they have given. You have to see the figure, and with the help of this figure, you can point out what are these, what is the structure of venator, what is the structure of egg, what is the structure of cells of neck canal cells, So this is, so while explaining the thallus structure, you have to be mentioned what is the anthridiophore, what is the archigoniophore, what is the anthridiophore and archigoniophore. So this is about dorsal surface of the Mertensia thallus. Now this on the lower surface, which is known as ventral surface, on both the sides of midrib, there is a presence of certain hair-like structures. They are nothing but scales and rhizoids. Scales are again two types. Rhizoids are again two types: smooth rhizoids and tuberculate rhizoids. So, what is the structure of smooth rhizoids? What is the structure of tuberculate rhizoids? So they have been mentioned in the reference books. You have to refer the reference book. In that you get to the clarity of what is meant by tuberculate rhizoids, what is meant by smooth rhizoids. So the main function of these scales and rhizoids is to hold the plant body on the surface, absorb water and minerals. So this is about, while explaining the thallus structure of Mertensia, external, whatever the things I have explained, that is external characteristics of Mertensia. That is ventral surface and dorsal surface and ventral surface. Now, while discussing the internal structure, so you have to take the vertical section of the Mertensia thallus internally. So it shows the different layers. Internally, it shows the different layers. That is upper epidermis, lower epidermis. In between these upper and lower epidermis, there is a presence of small opening that is known as stomata. And just below the upper epidermis, there is a presence of a photosynthetic zone or photosynthetic filaments. And below this photosynthetic zone, there is a presence of storage region where the cells are compactly arranged, polygonal in nature. And just below the storage region, again there is a presence of lower epidermis, which shows the structure of smooth rhizoids and tuberculous rhizoids and scales. So after taking the vertical section of Mertensia thallus, will be observe different types of tissues. While studying in reference books, they have given clear-cut figure. You have to go through to the figures and write down the points which are MCQs types. You will get the details regarding all these things. So this is about external and internal structure of Mertensia thallus. Yesterday I have also discussed in Mertensia multiplication takes place by both vegetative and sexual method. While explaining the vegetative structure, already we have seen that while studying the external characteristics, a half moon shaped structures which are present on the dorsal surface on the midrib, they are known as gymmaca. In that gymmaca, there is a dumbbell shaped structures are produced which are known as vegetative reproductive body. They are known as gymmae. They are known as gymmae. From that gymmae, again there is a formation of a new Markensia thallus. So that is known as vegetative method of reproduction. So while studying the sexual method of reproduction, you have to remember here, you have to remember the key points of reproductive structures, that is antheridium and archegonium. Then structure of antheridium, then structure of archegonium, structure of antheridium and structure of archegonium. After formation of a motile sperms or anthrozoids, and egg is a non-motile. There is a fusion of male and female gametes take place. That process is known as fertilization. After fertilization, so this stalk of the archegoniophore disappears, and that diploid cell which is present on the parental plants turns into sporophytic phase, where a special structure which is dependent on gametophytic plants, that is nothing but sporophyte of Markensia. Sporophyte of Markensia. While taking the vertical section of sporophyte of Markensia, will be observed different tissues of sporophyte of Markensia, in which structurally the sporophyte of Markensia is differentiated into three important parts, that is foot, seta and capsule. So in capsule, there is a mass of spore mother cells which are diploid one. These spore mother cells divides meiotically, and there is a formation of thousands of haploid cells. Out of these thousands of haploid cells, there is a round structure which is having a single nucleus. They are acted as spores, and there are certain spore mother cells without nucleus which are elongated one. They are known as elaters. So during dry period, they are non-nucleated one. Dry period, when there is a onset of rainy season, what happens? These elaters absorb water and they swells, and due to the swelling of the elaters, there is a bursting of capsule of sporophyte of Markensia. Due to the bursting, the spores are released in the rainy season. Again, out of whatever the spores are released, out of that 50% are plus state and 50% are minus state. The plus stain spores turns into formation of male Markensia thallus, and minus stain spores are responsible for formation of female Markensia thallus. So in this way, there is a completion of life cycle of Markensia. So you have to remember here, the alternation of generation in Markensia is heteromorphic, and in case of Markensia, the gametophytic phase is dominant, longer one, and the sporophytic phase of Markensia is very short and which is dependent on gametophytic phase. So these things you have to remember, which is the gametophytic phase, which is the sporophytic phase, why it is known as heteromorphic alternation of generation, what are the gymmacups, what are the gymmae, what type of rhizoids are there, what type of scales are there, what is antheridium, what is archegoniophore, what is the structure of antheridium, what is the structure of archegonium, whether the anthrozoids are haploid or diploid, whether the egg of archegonium is haploid or diploid. So these are the certain important points which will be asked in MCQs. You have to remember all these things, and with the help of these certain important points, you can be able to give a correct answer of MCQs which will be asked in examination. With this, today I have completed the Markensia, whatever the doubts are there, you have to be asked me by calling or on Telegram with the help of Telegram apps. So with this, I have completed this Mertensia. Again, in tomorrow or next week, I am going to be discuss another example which is mentioned for your syllabus, that is Funaria, which is most advanced one, which belongs to the class Bryopsida. This belongs to class Bryopsida. So with this today I am going to stop here only, and we will see tomorrow. Thank you. One and all.